Accidentally in Love. Written by Nikita Singh. Read by Akanksha Mishra. Dedicated to Ma. And Bullet, the imaginary golden retriever she never let me pet for real. Prologue. Love and other basic calculations. Love is just a calculation. Before you decide to get into something special with someone, there are certain parameters you calculate and then arrive at a conclusion, depending on which you may or may not have a relationship. First, you calculate if the other person is good enough for you to date or not. Is he tall enough? Is he hot enough? Is he rich enough? Is she hot enough? Is he interesting or funny enough? Is she hot enough? Is he intelligent enough? Is she hot enough? Most people you meet never match the criteria you set. They are a total reject. But then there are a few who do fulfill your criteria. And then another set of calculations starts. You calculate if getting into something special with that person would affect your mental peace. Would he treat me well? Would she be good at making out? Would he care enough? Would she be too demanding? Would he be too possessive? Would she be too sluttish? Would he give me enough time? Would she be too clingy? And then the most popular question of all time. Would this interfere with my career? And what if your special one lives miles apart from you? You would still do anything and everything to make it work. The beginning is awesome, with you never leaving your I am, telling your love how much you miss his or her presence. But soon your love begins to grow old and you start to struggle. And then again, career. But you like each other. So what is the solution? A strictly physical, open relationship that does not demand too much of your time and does not have the hassle of a real relationship. And you get all the perks. What can be better? As if love follows a plan. I'm not saying that this book has a story that has something to do with what I have been saying. And definitely not in the same sequence. But my point stays. Love cannot be planned. It is like gravity. You can try to go against it, but you really can't. You can jump off a cliff, trying to fly, but you will not. You will fall. It is inevitable. Similarly, falling in love cannot be prevented. It is inevitable too. And if you are smart enough to recognize that it is real, you should be smart enough to fight for it and never let it go. Life does not give you too many second chances. Don't let love ever pass you by. This is a story of people finding true love, losing it, and, well, read the book to know the rest. The Glamour. 1st July 2011. Chhavi. I heard someone call my name. I murmured sleepily. Wake up, Vatsala shouted in my ear. We have to go to the studio. Why? I asked. Because we have to work. Work? But I don't have anything today. You don't? But I do. My first shoot, and you promised you would come with me, Vatsala said. I tried to block out her voice and get back to sleep. I have prepared breakfast. Do you want me to serve it to you here? What? I said and woke up with a jerk. Vatsala prepared breakfast? We had been sharing an apartment since the past couple of weeks, and never once had she so much as stirred a ladle. All she does is peek into the vessels occasionally, while I am cooking, and crib about my slow speed. To think that she prepared breakfast for the two of us, that she actually even woke up so early. Wow, you really cooked. Actually, no. I was just trying to wake you up. She laughed. But please do cook something quickly. I'm starving. As usual, I said and made my way to the kitchen. It was amazing that she could eat so much and still maintain the figure. I, for one, had to work every single day to make sure agencies kept hiring me. Being a model has its own disadvantages, you see. I had been modeling since 2 years and had never gained a single stone. I was quite proud of the fact, but still wished that I didn't have to work for it. Having an impeccable figure with absolutely zero effort? That's the dream. So what should I wear? Vatsala asked. They will arrange an outfit. You don't have to worry. It was Vatsala's first day of work at the studio. I work at Metro News, covering the tiny sports slot of the prime time news. That is the only permanent position I hold anywhere. Metro News had recently hired Vatsala to anchor their weekend show about the entertainment industry. In fact, it was at her interview with our team when I first met her. I had been looking for a flatmate and she had been looking for a place to live. That's how we ended up sharing an apartment. Yeah, but what do I wear to the studio? PJs, shorts, whatever, doesn't matter, I replied. Really? She seemed amazed. Yes, really. No one is going to care what you wear to the studio. Why would they? They just care about your on-screen appearance. Just wear any pair of jeans and get ready. Okay, she said and turned to leave. She seemed really nervous about this, although she didn't need to be. I was there when she was being auditioned. She was awesome. Everyone at the set was a big fan of hers already. In fact, they didn't even audition the remaining participants after her. Yes, she was that good. But of course, the first-timer nervousness cannot be shaken off. I remember my first time. The first offer I had received was when I was still in Kolkata. To my shock, my family was not against the idea of my modeling. But slowly, I understood the real reason. I had been a troublesome kid all my life. They just figured that I would not listen to anything that they would have to say. Anyway, they had lost all arguments before, so they didn't want to get into another one. So even though they were not happy about it, they did their best to mask it. So I had flown to Mumbai. And the first time I heard the director say, "Action!" into his microphone, I had totally forgotten what I was supposed to do. I had frozen and had wanted to run back home. But that had not happened again since. And after that, my career had gone on a roll. I had been flooded by modeling offers for advertisements for products of all sorts and from all kinds of sectors. I was that type of model, the one who is cast in advertisements, still and motion. The reason I never tried my luck in ramp modeling was because I knew that at 5'5" high, I didn't have much of a bright future there. Plus, the ramp models have to be really thin. I liked my version of thin. The I still have boobs version. Anyway, it always thrilled me to see my pictures on hoardings and in magazines. And it always felt amazing when people recognized me from the ads they saw on TV. It was very fulfilling, and I had been pretty content with what I had going until recently. Since the last few months, the number of offers I received had started to dip. A major number of the offers I received were for print modeling. I started disappearing from the face of television, and it had started to worry me. I already knew that the career of a model was a limited period deal. But 2 years? Wasn't that a bit extreme? What's for breakfast? Vatsala asked, re-entering the kitchen. You ready already? I asked, amazed. Didn't she leave the kitchen just seconds ago? Yep, she said, stuffing her mouth with the omelette I had cooked. Is the toast done? Almost. Did you take a shower? I asked suspiciously.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?